I needed that. Love you, Valerie.
Hi, how's everybody? Love you too, Juno. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so glad to have you here tonight. I have to say this, my internet still is wonky. Juno's in a storm, her internet's wonky, but we're going to do the best we can uh, going forward. Tonight, we're talking about doing versus being as the main topic. But we are going to talk about how words impact our reality. And, and please give us your questions, interact with us, and maybe at the end we'll do some cards. What do you think, Juno?
Sure. Yeah, we'll just, go with the flow, as they say. And,
And we were
yeah,
gonna.
we'd just love to hear back from people when we talk about some of these different words or phrases that if you've had any experience with using, changing up your words to change your life around. And I know that personally, I've been in a really bad place for a long, long time. And the way I got out of it, the first thing I did was changing my words, how I expressed what I was thinking. So
I was the worst. I had the worst self-talk, and I couldn't understand why my life was terrible.
yeah,
and
and we know that we can manifest negative things because we do it all the time. We just kind of take it for granted, or we blame it on the world, or so and so did this to us, and we don't realize that it's our own negative thinking that has brought a lot of it to ourselves. So if we're that powerful to bring that much negativity, we can bring as much or more positivity through changing our language.
Yes, it is possible. I mean, I didn't learn this till about 50, maybe 48 or 50. And it took me a little while to every thought. If I was being abusive to myself, I would stop and restructure what I was saying. It took me a little while, but my thinking was so awful. My life was terrible. My life absolutely reflected my self-talk, all my talk, all of my speech. Well, did you want to do a little, put our hands together, do a couple deep breaths? Feels like the energy's kind of, whoo.
Yeah, let's all breathe together. 3 nice, easy, deep breaths, and exhale a little bit longer than you inhale. And we'll breathe the world together. We'll breathe the universe together. Just be the dropping of your shoulders. Relax.
Now we say thank you, Mother, Father, God. I call my higher self Sparkly, but everybody's higher self here are all of our guardians, angels, dragons, elementals, and beings of the highest vibration of unconditional love. Please assist us in being in peace, in unconditional love. It's really powerful I do this a few times throughout the day to set the energy, because I'm sure, like most of you, I can feel when the energy is going, wonky. So I stay focused in as much as I can. But this is we are so much more powerful than we've ever been taught to believe. And I'm not saying that as power over, as I am as power within yourself. We're all energy conduits, and it is. I talk about frequency and vibration all the time, and the 12 universal laws. But it to simplify that, you are how you speak to yourself. And the world responds to you how you speak to the world. And we know that we're in a really distorted time right now, and we will be this whole year because of an election. So it's going to, you know, having these tools at our disposal as fast as we can with just a word is imperative for us to get through this challenging year that's coming up. Now, I could sit here and say it's challenging just like I did. I know the external is challenging, but when I am in my world, and my focus is on love and unconditional love, light, spirit, keeping that vibration high as possible, because that's what we are. We're light workers, love workers, energy workers. That's what we do here. Doesn't mean that we don't get knocked over every once in a while, but we get back up, we center ourselves, and really, you know, give yourself a hug, give yourself a pat on the back, whatever it is. This is not an easy, Earth is not an easy place at the moment. And as we're all learning together and bringing in this higher vibration with Mother Earth, and by the way, she doesn't really need us, but we're along for the ride. We are the ones we've been waiting for, truly. And it you know, I used to think, where's this person that's going to come in and save us, you know? And my spirit team had to talk with me. It's
yeah, us. And it's right. She's right there in the mirror, isn't she?
Yeah.
Who's going to save you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Juno?
No, I agree with everything you said. And the thing that really helped me to turn around my thinking and become aware of it, I had actually two sources. One was when I was involved with Young Living, and I was talking with my upline, and, you know, and then she came down and did a presentation. She lives in Scottsdale, and I didn't live too far away. So she came and did a presentation, but she talked about conscious language, which is, you know, really what do your words mean? And this is not like a grammar lesson. This is not about, it's not an intelligence test or anything like that. It's just making some simple changes in the words that you choose to use every day. Like, so anyway, the other way, pardon me. So, frog in my throat. Pardon me. I'm not sick or anything. It's just dust. I've been cleaning a lot. So, when I got involved with JininJitsu, because Mary Burmeister, who was the founder of JininJitsu, really talked about that. It was very important to her. So she would say, you're not a human doing, you're a human being. You know, and our society is so focused on the doing, right? And that led me to think the other day, like, well, okay, so what's our greeting when we run into somebody? We say, hey, how you doing? Or, hey, how you doing? You know, like Joey Tribbiani, you know, well, how are you doing? We don't ask, how are you being? So when we say, how are you doing? How do you respond when I ask you how you're doing, Val?
How do I respond when you say?
If I say, how are you doing?
I'm good. That's probably, how am I?
How are you doing? You know, I'm good, or I'm tired, or I'm sore, or I'm overworked, or I'm stressed, or man, I'm great, or whatever. I'm great, you know. But it might, you know, you have a different way of describing it. But if I asked you, how are you being, how would you respond?
Oh, I'd be like, wow, that's a interesting question. And I think it would bring me a lot of joy. It would actually help me focus in on how am I being.
Yeah,
I like it.
And if we're human beings, right?
Yeah.
You know, Homo sapiens, however that, I don't know, Homo sapiens, I don't know. There's one of those is doubled. I can't remember which it is, but you know.
Yeah, that's the one we're on, Homo sapiens sapien, but we are turning into Homo luminous.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's why we're here, causing, you know, well, we're here to hold that energy up. And as that light and frequency comes in, our cells become light and frequency. It's really, really beautiful. But I do like how, I'm sorry, I'm trying to type. Go ahead, Juno.
Well, so just getting everybody to kind of think of how, like, what if we all started greeting each other, even people in the chat, how are you doing? You could say, well, how are you being today? Because I think it might help us all shift our way of relating, to ourselves and to others and to the world, that we're being, we've been doing. We've been living in this culture of just push the doing. And sometimes you get the most done by going lay down and take a nap. Not all the time, not to overuse that, we keep it in moderation and use it just like we're talking about using your words with discretion, and use it with focus. I know that I learned from the Galactic Heritage deck of cards about the whale energy helps with dream time. So if you're wanting to go to sleep at night and get, be able to remember your dreams or have meaningful dreams, for a while, like say 15-30 minutes before you go to sleep, meditate and ask, invite the whale energy in. And I know it's worked. I've had really tremendous help with that. I don't do it every night, I do it at special times. But yeah,
you just get that feeling, when you need to, you have that desire. Now, see, need is one of the words we're going to talk about. You have that desire to connect with a higher source, whether it's the whales, your spirit team, your higher self, archangels, and the way that we speak to, we have to ask all of those beings, because we live in a free will zone. And if we're not asking in the proper words, like if you say, oh my God, I need my boyfriend or I need my girlfriend, I mean, I've been there. I'm not going to say I haven't, but they're not even really responding to that, because first of all, the word need is in there. You're, in my case, I was being too needy, right? And it's that vibration doesn't resonate with them. They need us at that higher vibration. The words help us bring in the vibration that we can connect with them. We've all had, I'm sure, many times where we connect, and it's just beautiful. You just have this beautiful experience. And a lot of other times you just feel like nobody's listening to me, Have you had that happen?
Oh, definitely. And another one of those words that's kind of is want, want and need. And so I was taught by many years ago, 20 years ago or so, when I lived in Sedona, I was working as an operator for a psychic hotline, which meant I just connected the caller and the psychic. I wasn't the psychic, but I got to know a lot of psychics. And one of them taught me to say, you choose to have. Choose to have. So that's empowering you. It's just like the being, doing. If you're doing, most of the time in our lifetime, when we're doing something to benefit someone else at our job, you know what I mean? Or we're doing to take care of our family or whatever. We're not just being and realizing how much that we can manifest if we slow down long enough to really focus. Like if every word cost you a penny, you might not spend them all so lax, in such a lax manner. So if you say, I choose to have, and another thing about choose and choice is you have many options, but you have only one choice. Right?
Yeah, and it does take, I know it took me a little while to understand, okay, in this realm, in this higher realm, because when you are vibrating at a higher rate, our perception, our third eye, I call it the perception doors, they start to open, so you get to see higher and higher realms and interact with them. But we don't know fully what's there because we've been here living in pretty harsh environment, and we were taught that this was it. This was all there is.
Yeah, and if you think you see anything else, you're don't trust your lion eyes or your lion third eye.
Yeah, you're insane. I'm gonna lock you up. I didn't even have my light on. Sorry, guys. I don't know what I'm doing.
You're doing great. You're doing fine.
But Yeah. So, and then you got to get past that, right? The judgment, the blame, the shame, because that's more of those words, you know.
Well, and
And
that's
that.
another that word should, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to get should out of it, but it's like you're don't should on others and don't should on yourself. You
Right.
know, I should do this. You know, it's very disempowering. Say, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to do this, or, you know, my plan is to do, but this should. There's a lot of ways. And I don't know if anyone's got any feedback, if they can come up with ideas of other words to use in place of these, you know, these words that are holding us back in a lot of ways.
I find it very difficult because, you know, I was so used to using the word want or need.
Mm-hmm.
And with want, I got to prefer or desire. But, you know, desire almost sounds in a different context, you know, sexual context, which I didn't mean it.
Right.
So it isn't easy to choose the correct words. I write a lot, you know, in journals, and I speak to my team constantly, and I read charts for people. I'm not going to say the words to anyone that is going to disempower them or me, or you know, the same thing that we've always, well, how's that statement go, Gina? The same thing you always had.
Whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way you're right. And that's a quote from Henry Ford.
I love it. She already knew. And I mean, it's the truth, right? So when you show up in your, I'm a light worker. You don't, I mean, we're not out there broadcasting that, but we're in a group, a spiritual group here, and we know that there's something else going on. We understand each other, and we can have these discussions. But let's see, but I do that one all the time, you know. But
yeah, there's so many when you start thinking about it, you know, and it takes a while. And let me tell you, I mean, it can take a long time. And when you find yourself, you catch yourself, you know, well, I said that, I choose to have said that differently now, you know, just correct yourself and go forward, because it's like retraining. It takes a while, but it's also, you know, it's stretching your mind.
Right.
Well, this is what we're talking about. What is our intentions?
Right.
You know, the universe is very, very literal.
Literal. Yeah. There's no, you know, it is vibration, and you are here in a body, and your feelings help you understand the vibrations, but they're not. And if we're not literal and it directly to the point, you're just leaving, like the word want just leaves you hanging.
It's not empowering. That's the point. It's not empowering to you. It's putting you in a, you know, in almost in a lack kind of frame of mind, where you, if you say I choose to have, then that's you making a conscious choice. You've thought about it, and it also prompts you, like, really think about that. What if there's that old what is it, the book, and I don't know, whatever it's that woman wrote, that was called My Word is My Wand.
Oh, I love her.
Right?
Oh, goodness.
And I don't remember the author's
name.
I'll
look it up. Go ahead.
Yeah, but you know, it's just that if you thought about every word you used, that every word was like a wand and could grant a wish, or, you know, do what the most positive thing, what words would you use?
Yeah. And you know, I know, I put that up there. Ness, I love that. Your word is your
word is your wand. The first time I read that, which was not even that phrase, which was not that long ago, like within the last few years, it just lit me right up. I thought, you know, what an amazing way to put that. Your word is your wand.
Too.
And I've never looked at words the same since I heard that.
Exactly. And I listened to her, I want to say, oh goodness, maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago on YouTube. It's Florence Scovel Shinn. She has all kinds of really good books. Your word is your wand, and it's, you know, it's a video, but it's somebody reading the book to you. What's that called?
Audio book kind of thing.
Audio book. Thank you. And I mean, and see, that is, I like that. My favorite word is kerfuffle. It invites such fun and play. And that is the vibration. See, that's the vibrationness it is definitely focusing on. So it's not that it leaves you wanting, but words, you know, when you're calling in, manifesting anything, you want to be as direct as possible. You want to feel into your intention. Like when we talk about the new moons and the full moons, when you have your list of the things that you want to bring in, you want to feel, what would that feel like to have that, or to be that, or be there. It is it heightens your intention. It heightens the magic of it. And I'm saying magic because you know, we call spelling, the words that we use, or spelling.
You're actually spelling. Yeah. When you write or you speak, you're actually spelling.
Yeah.
You know, you're bringing, if you realize that say every time you said something negative or even thought something negative, you had to put money in a jar, you know, as compared to when you said something positive, just as a way to kind of visualize the difference that it would make in your life. And every one of those negative things is like a little cut, you know. And I love that kerfuffle word, because it's like, it's just a silly word, and even the sound of it just sounds almost like a cartoon or something, you know. It takes the sting out of it, you know.
Yeah, and it sets up the vibration of Ness is talking to us, you know. This energy that's all around us speaks to us as we speak to it, but we are the ones who have to ask. We're the ones who have to call it in, what it is that is making, I always say this, what makes your heart smile? Because that's, you want to feel that, you know, when your heart lights up, you really want to feel that when you're intending or wishing, or whatever word you want to use for that. It's much more powerful when your feelings are in it. Yeah, Randy, I get it. I'm always in the thesaurus. Always. Where to go?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, and you can even do that online. There's a lot of free thesauruses. I'm just being silly, but there are a lot online. Euphoria, the loving. Ooh, I like that.
I do too.
See, I like this. And look at, if we started speaking these words. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Euphoria.
That's above my pay grade, I'm afraid, but I don't know how else to express that. I make no judgments. I'm just like, well, I didn't never.
I love it.
Yeah, but it's like, if we started speaking this way, there's some really amazing words out there that just can really change your life. And like the other thing that I learned from JininJitsu was using the word try. And of course, this kind of goes along with Yoda, but you know, somebody would be in class when Mary Burmeister was teaching, and they would be, you know, because you get a lot of information thrown at you during class. It's a lot to take in, and they would be kind of confused. And the student would say, well, I'm trying to understand whatever, you know, this concept or this depth or that, whatever it was. And Mary would say, well, you sure are. You're trying, you know, and you could look at that two ways. But so what if you didn't say try? You know, you're either doing or you're not doing. Kind of, isn't that the Yoda thing? There is no try. And it's these words are really disempowering. And back to the comment about, doesn't spirit just know what our intentions are? Well, maybe spirit might think that you're being a little lazy because you're not putting the thought into, you know, all they're asking you to do is be a little more careful with your words, or a little more thoughtful, or however, you know, whatever word you want to use there. I mean, if you're asking spirit for help, don't expect them to just fill in the blanks for you. That's also not empowering. So just another way to look at it.
Right. They do. It's about us owning our power. We're the ones here in the physical. And, you know, there's so much we have to go through to understand, even to get to this point. I know I did. I know Juno did. There was a lot of on the job training, let's say, life itself. And I agree with Care Bear here. Projecting onto others you should is aggravating. Yes, very aggravating.
So now let's look at her last sentence, because she might have typed this before I talked about try. But if you just took out I try to just say, I catch myself before I do that. Look at how much more empowering that is, instead of, well, I try, I'm attempting, I'm striving, you know, I'm not there yet, and maybe I won't get there. But if you say, I catch myself, you're training yourself to catch that.
Yeah.
You're not just, maybe someday I will.
And that's what I had to do. I had to train myself. I know Juno did. We talked about
we're
this.
not perfect at it yet either. I mean, it's a work in progress, but.
Huh. That's interesting, Ness. Ness got a lot of comments here, so I'm going to
get her. I love reading these. Thank you guys for your lovely comments.
Yeah, I love it. And we're going to, what would you say? Don't forget, kindness is the word you choose to speak. True.
Yeah, love that.
And
I love kind to the unkind. They need it the most.
I love this. I mean, I know as a person who used to have, date and be in relationships, I would feel that too. When you first meet somebody, that newness.
I love that word. I think it's a beautiful word.
I do too. Yeah. Euphoria.
Oh, thanks, Sue. Nice to see you. And thanks everybody for being here. We really appreciate it. We kind of just jumped into it without getting a lot of personal things, but we appreciate all you guys. Yeah.
I know
change your word and change your life. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, how about we say hi to everybody real quick?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Hi, Maya. Glow is here. Nice to see you. Melinda Crocker, Karen Robinson, Roxy. Judy, I'm so sorry. I can't pronounce your last name. Bellevue? Thank you, Juno. Amanda Carroll, Sal Rods, Randy, Ness, Care Bear, Butterfly Kisses Healing. I know there's more.
And I can't see the chat, guys, so I'm not ignoring you.
Lori Hunsinger, nice to see you. I know I'm going slow because I don't want to miss anybody. I am not good on the chat either. Jenny, how are you doing? It's just so nice because the energy, it does. Like, before a show, you kind of feel, kind of nervous. That never really goes away. And then once everyone gets in, it just like really calms down and it feels good.
Like we're all just sitting around the table, just jawing, just sharing stories and ideas and, getting feedback, because it's an interactive thing we want to bring to you. We choose to bring to you. We're not trying.
Hi, Leah. We are choosing to bring it. Yeah. Hi, Majestic Oracle. Hi, Erin.
I'd love it if everybody this week, however long, when you meet people or whatever, try that. You say see, it's still hard. I'm not perfect at it myself, but say to somebody, how are you being? And just see what kind of response you get. It might be surprising. I think it'd be really interesting as like a study of people.
What would you say instead of but? Yeah, it is a study. Rather. However, no.
Or you might have to reword your entire sentence to eliminate the but.
Right.
If only it was that easy. I like her. I liked Ginny's avatar with the gargoyle. It was cool.
Okay, but look at this, Erin. You could say, I'm doing.
Yeah.
That'll switch that just a little bit for you.
Yeah.
And bring you into.
You're keeping yourself stuck, especially when you repeat that trying. I mean, just look at this. If someone was trying, they're just staying in one of those circles, going round and round and round on this, right? They're in that trying circle, trying. When if you were in a spiral, you could move out from that. And this is not to be critical of anyone. This is like we're doing this because we had to, we had people to work with kind of to bounce things off of that might remind us every now and then, or if you journal, you might see it, and you can start to just rewire yourself. Because if you're beating yourself up, I know how that is. I was very good at self-flagellation for decades. I was like the queen of that, And I used to describe, because I deal with fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue since I was 3, and it's just pain all over the body. And I realized when I started having JininJitsu sessions, I realized that my negative thoughts were like razor blades, like razor sharp knives that were shredding me, and that was contributing to my pain. So I'm coming from that place, Erin. I'm not speaking down to you. I don't mean that in any way at all. I'm there to be totally supportive, because I know what it's like to struggle and to feel like you're not succeeding. But what if you dared to say, I am successful. I am succeeding. I love myself. And I know those things are really hard. When we have this opinion of ourselves, it's like really hard. It's really hard to do. But then again, it's really easy. It's only hard because you think it is. Once you start doing it, and then you start hearing it, and then you start seeing the results of it, it's going to snowball, you know?
I was awful to myself, Erin. Oh my God. I was always struggling. And I would say this, I feel like I'm stuck in the mud. And I can't tell you how many years I was stuck in the mud because I said that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And when my guides brought it to me to start flipping, they would say, flip the word to the opposite of what you just said. Say it the exact opposite. And I'd be like, oh my God, I can't do that. Or when they had me learn to love myself, that was really hard. When you got to go in and really like put your hand on your heart. In fact, let's all do it. Let's put our hand on our heart and just say, I love you.
Yeah, I love you.
Love you, Valerie. I love you, Erin. All of us.
Yeah, I love you.
Your heart just starts to smile and it just glows. I
mean, even the Grinch's heart grew how many times, you know? I mean, the Grinch's heart even grew, you know? So don't,
yeah. I mean, it wasn't easy, but once you're on the other side of it, if you are struggling with this and you get on the other side of it, and my thoughts are not negative anymore. They were constantly 24 hours a day negative.
Oh, I'm not worthy. You know, the Wayne and Garth, we're not worthy. I'm not worthy. You know, I was telling Valerie this yesterday, that in JininJitsu, after your first 5-day class or whichever one, but you get a certificate, beautiful certificate. And on there it says, you know, the name of the class, and it's the art of getting to know, and then in parentheses, help myself. And I was so proud that I had taken this class, but I was too embarrassed. I had such a low self-esteem that I couldn't even put that on my wall because that was too much for me. It was too just, oh, I'm going to help her, or, you know, that I care about myself. That's too much. You know, you can tell me I learned JininJitsu, but don't put up there that, you know what I mean? And now it's a whole different thing. It's like a badge of honor, but boy, it was a long slog to get from there to here. And it's still something I work on all the time.
I know I did that. I have so many certificates, and I don't even, I honor them now, but I don't even, before, it was like I didn't have enough. I wasn't good enough. I was never going to be good enough and know enough to just be Valerie. It wasn't, I didn't even have a plan, you know, just learning all this, but, you know.
And we let everybody else dictate how our lives go, you know. I mean, to say nothing is making a decision. If you know, it's not only just yes or no. If you choose to do nothing, you know, you're putting all your power in someone else. And yes, you know, I give spirit all the power. I really do. But that doesn't mean that I don't do my share, though. You know.
Oh, Roxy, we love hearing about y'all's stories. I love it.
You know, it's just nice to be able to share, because, you know, you can meet, even if you meet somebody in person or you see somebody on a show like this, and you might have the idea, well, they got all their act together and blah, blah, blah. They just popped out of their mama like that, you know, just knowing everything. And it was a long haul to get here. And I still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
I love that, is the eraser at the end of the pencil.
I know, it's the Ginny. You're hilarious.
She's so good with words. I love Ginny.
She is. Yeah. And Ruby Red Slippers is here. I love being. Hello, beautiful. Yeah. Oh, what's this? I like this. Yes, think soft pink hearts melting into you. Yes, I always see pink plasma clouds, and I just put them on everybody. Put them on if I'm going to the store, the grocery store, I just put those everywhere. When I'm driving, there's these little things. frequency wise, yes, I know it works, and I know energetically it works, but to know for a fact, I don't. But I know when I do that, I feel so much better. I feel more joyful going through life, and loving and kind.
You know, I think of that old song, and it's kind of like, I don't know if it was in "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou," but it might have been. But that old song, maybe from the Depression days, was "Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side."
Majestic Oracle, I said hi as soon as I saw you come in. You're not blocked. Let's see. What's this? I believe all that jazz. Snap fingers, felt the magic, and still came up short. But and Aaron, I want to say why. It isn't because you're doing something wrong, and please don't take any of this like that. It takes us a while to increase our energetic vibration from self-hate to self-acceptance. You're not even at love yet. It comes the more that you practice, that you speak to yourself as you would speak to, and I know you speak to people like they're to be honored and respected, and so are you. This is where we let me just put it like this. Like, when growing up, we're taught, society, polite society, be nice, say nice. I mean, I could go on to the, I'll give your uncle a kiss thing, all this weird stuff. Okay. And truth is, if a kid is saying, I don't want to give him a kiss, or I don't like my grandma, they shouldn't be forced into it. But that's just the tiny little things that build it up. And, we get to the point you're never taught it's to think about yourself. It's always do for somebody else. Always take care of something else for somebody else. Nothing wrong with that. But then you come later down in the road in life, and you're wondering why you feel so empty and why nothing goes right, and you don't feel good ever. There's so much that we do to ourselves, and we have to undo all that. Really, society's done it to us, or a family. And I'm not trying to put blame on it, but it is how we are taught.
Well, we're wired. It's the input that we get from all the sources. Right. Even like if you look at food labeling right now, like everything is the extreme and the blast and the, it's all just like, so, I mean, this is food, people, it shouldn't be, those are not appropriate words for food. So we're living in this hyper aggressive or fear-based or whatever society. And also, Aaron, I want to let you know that we're not here to tell you what to do or anything. We're just wanting to share how we've worked through these things and what's been helpful. And the whole thing started for me, like I said, was through JininJitsu. And, this is an ancient Japanese healing art. And it's you really look at it from, all different kind of angles of how can we help ourselves? And it's all about harmonizing. And we become, we're it's just wired into us that we should use these words this way. So another word, actually two words that I've been really working on not using is saying get or got. So I say I receive, like in JininJitsu, we learn we don't take a breath, we receive a breath. It's a gift, right? So just think of all the free gifts you get when you don't even have to think about it every day. Your body just breathes. It breathes while you sleep. It breathes while you're awake. It breathes while you're driving. And whatever you're doing, you're always breathing. You don't even think about it. Look at all those gifts you get every day. So then maybe the next day, maybe you realize, oh, hey, maybe that pain that I've had for 10 years stopped hurting today for some miracle. Oh, that's a gift. Okay, well, that was good. The old thing of I found a feather or something positive that happened, or I had a girlfriend call me that I haven't talked to in 4 years the other day, and what a gift that was. And if you start looking at all these things instead of, oh yeah, I enjoyed it, that was nice, but you're not embracing the gift of it and the receiving of it. A lot of people are thinking, well, I'm a great giver, and I just want to give, but it's uncomfortable for me to receive. Well, if you don't receive, you're not completing the circuit to be, you know, you're not even honoring the gift. You have to allow to receive, because if all you do is give, then it's control. It can borderline on control, you know, because then it's always like, well, that person is in debt to you or in ingratitude to you or something. And I know if I make something for someone and I've spent all this time on it and whatever, and they feel like, oh no, that's just too much. It's like, no, that's why I did this. This is an expression from my heart. It's a gift, you know? And so instead of, like, if I order something from Amazon, even though I ordered it and I paid for it and I know what day it's coming, when I go to the mailbox, I receive it. I didn't get it. I received it. And
yes,
it changes things.
Yeah, it's just these little things we're talking about internet. Well, they're life changing. They changed my life.
Me too. It got me out of the pit that I was in, where I couldn't. I felt like all I did was try. All I did was struggle. Yep.
And that's hard. Like, because I know I didn't see positive experiences, so I had to keep having faith and trust and belief.
Or reframing what was happening and realizing it was. Like when we come up with, okay, say something's been promised to us, or, you know, any kind of a disappointment, and we feel like, oh, now I'm rejected. And so remember this: rejection is protection by deflection and redirection. So that's giving you power instead of making you the victim of whatever that circumstance was. If something went, you know, pear-shaped, there's a reason why. That means it didn't, it went wrong, or it went off track or something. Didn't go the way you expected. There's a reason why. And you might not know that right away. You might not know it for years, and you might know it immediately. You know, if you take time to really look at, like, oh, well, maybe it's a good thing I didn't get involved in that situation, or, you know, maybe it's a good thing I didn't get that job because whatever. So allow those things.
Yeah, Spirit my team lets me know the same thing that Juno just said. If something isn't yours, it's going by you, and you feel like lost because of it, it's not lost, because something better is coming to you.
Right.
These are the things we think, oh my God, I missed it. I missed the boat. I missed the time. I missed the whatever it was. But there's always some. But a lot of times, I know when that was happening to me, I would be so distraught about not receiving the whatever it was, or participating in, or whatever. I couldn't see when something really was coming in through the door. And it's like Spirit opens the door slowly, slowly, slowly. Sometimes a big door will open in front of you, but you know, they want you to notice. What I'm hearing right now is to notice that every moment is a blessing. Every moment is the present. It's called
every breath is a gift, you know.
Yeah.
Every you know, being here on earth, everything. If you, I mean, we all are struggling. Believe me, I'm still struggling. I have a lot of issues that I deal with, and but you know, it's important to stay positive, and especially like Valerie was saying at the beginning, with what we're facing for at least the next year, you know, and beyond. This isn't going to just be the flip the switch. And what we want to do through these shows that we're doing is to help empower people, and you know, in ways that simple ways, don't cost you anything. Nobody else can do it for you. You have to do this for yourself. You can choose to do this for yourself. And Valerie and I are two really great examples of how well it's worked. It really, and it's not faith-based. It's not about believing in it. It's about just, if you look at, your words are powerful. Why would you say a word that wasn't of the highest, you know? I don't mean always blowing smoke up somebody's ass. Sometimes you gotta, pardon my French, but sometimes you gotta let steam off. But if we really, it's a lot more about self-talk and just the way we communicate day to day. It's not even about that part of it. But and another thing is that I do in the morning before I get out of bed. It's not about being right or wrong, Erin. That's not what we're trying to say. We're trying to encourage you to help you through this, because we know what a struggle it is. It isn't easy, you know. And I still say these words, and I have to catch myself. But when I do, I always feel like, okay, that's, you know, at least it's another awareness.
I like this with Lori Hunsinger. Now, here's another way to say it.
Yeah.
Keep saying those words till you get it done. I'm doing it, doing it, doing it. Because that is, I mean, we're here. We're experiencing experiences. And we're here to live in joy in the moment. But most of the time, well, I know this is how I used to be. I was always thinking about the past, regretting something, and just couldn't believe this happened or that happened, and that's depression. Or I was worried about what was the future, what's coming in, and that's anxiety. So I always had extreme amounts of anxiety, and I'm still working on that. I still have that, but I can look I can say, okay, what am I doing right here? I grab something, whether a crystal or a deck of cards or something, and stop that thought train from going the wrong way, you know, and bringing in, okay, I'm here. I know my team is here. Maybe my team has something they'd like to say. That's what I do. Show me my next best step. Anything. Like I said, we have to ask them. But word it your way.
Right. And we're just giving you ideas and giving you some awareness of looking at how you express yourself so that you can further empower yourself and those around you. You know, the universe, like I said, they're out there. We need to be specific, and there are a lot of beings and energies just on the other side of the veil that are just waiting for us to ask for their help. So when you ask for their help, you know, I learned to kind of look at my life. If I look back on it, you know, however many decades or whatever, hundreds of years later, if there was a movie about my life, how would I wanted it to play out? If I had a certain drama or challenge come up, how would I want to have looked back on it and had that play out? And I do my best to take the highest road. No, don't always do it, but at least I'm getting better at, if I feel emotional, then I step back until my emotions calm down over something, and I let spirit speak to me instead of going, well, they shouldn't have, and I'm going to speak my truth. Well, you know, speaking your truth isn't just about flapping your gums and getting everything off your chest.
That's true.
You know,
I mean, noticing.
You want to do it in a way that's not putting a hook into someone else, because then you're just creating karma.
Exactly.
Right? And so sometimes you need to step back, and you might have to step back for a day or a week or something until you're calm enough to address it without looking at it emotionally and feeling victimized by it. And you're only victimizing yourself anyway, because you let people get, it's just a situation you're in. And one thing I've started to do when I get up in the morning, call in my guides and angels, and I say, if I'm going to face any challenges today, please mitigate them for me. Just even before, like a preemptive thing, call that energy in beforehand, because I came to this realization that if I just wait until I'm in a crisis or an oh my gosh moment or whatever it is, and then I call my angels and guides, well, that's kind of like treating a friend kind of poorly, well, I only call you when I need you, when I really, really need you, the rest of the time, the heck with you. But boy, when I need you, you better be there. You better be there right now, because I need you, and you're my angel or my guide, and show up. What about having a relationship with them all day, and then ask them throughout the day for help with little things? And when you start to get validation, then it's like, then you realize, hey, they're really listening to me. Yeah. This does work. There is a connection, but yes, but ask them ahead of time, put it out there preemptively, like, help me through this before it even happens, and clear the path so that it won't hurt me so much, whatever it is. It won't feel so extreme. It won't put me in this kind of fear, whatever it is. And I found it to be really, really helpful.
Very helpful. And that I do this in the morning too. I say, please show me my next best step for today in grace and ease. You don't have to say a lot of words, but I do cultivate the relationship with them as often as possible. Sparkly, what do you think about this? Because I named her. She said she didn't need a name, but once I named her, it helped me feel like, okay, maybe I'm not so crazy just talking to the air. But she, and you get to understand your team is bringing in what you're asking for, and they're there for you, and they are communicating with you. Doesn't necessarily have to be words or pictures. I mean, a butterfly could go by.
It might be
The
a
cat could,
feeling,
yeah, a feeling. Yeah, absolutely. I want to say hi to Ron.
Yeah. Hey, Ron.
As Randy
Thanks for
says,
coming here.
I've learned to live in the moment. That's
the key.
it. That's the key.
Yeah,
It
the
is
Hopi,
so
they don't have
important.
a word for now because everything is now. It's all, there's other cultures that are that way too, not just the Hopi, but it's all now. It's all we have.
I do that all the time now.
Will you do my dishes after you're done, Mass, please? I get terrible dishpan hands, with these.
Oh, I like that. Yes, Leah. Sunny
Yes,
side
that's
of
the
life.
song, that I was starting to talk about. We'll always look on the sunny side of life. And, they sang that song because this was like, I think it was a depression song. And if that one wasn't, there were other songs like it. And when you realize, when you listen to the words, is what they were doing is they were telling us the same thing. No matter how hard it is, always look on the sunny side. And if you use that as kind of like a mantra or a chant, you'll find that it really, like if you're, you got to rake leaves, then they're wet and they're heavy and it's cold out. If you do something like that and you keep singing a song like that, instead of going, oh, this is horrible and I hurt and I don't want to do this, this is why they develop those kind of songs.
Yeah. It is us, right? I mean, everything's got two sides at least. Yeah. And where we place our focus, where our attention goes, our energy flows.
Exactly.
I want to say it right. This is so important because this is your energy column. It is sacred. Yep. It's what's keeping us alive here. It's everything. And we're here for a big job. There might be billions of love workers, light workers, and energy workers, but it's a big job to go through all of these years of pain and trauma, and to realize, oh, maybe I'm not crazy. Maybe something is going on, and find other like-minded souls. I couldn't believe it when I found everybody. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. And what did it take? It took a pandemic. We had the internet before the pandemic, and there were tarot readers and everything, other kind of readers and this kind of community online, but we didn't get connected until the world shut down. And then look at all of us that found each other, and we're still together years into this. This is the thing that's amazing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because something is going on.
Yeah, when I was moving, when I had to move, and it was during the pandemic, and it was a stressful situation, and it was a mile or an hour away each way, and it was scary. I didn't know anybody or anything, and I was hurting, and I still had to do it. And what I found this song, and it might not be everyone's taste, but this was what worked for me at the time, is there was a song put out they're called the Wellerman, and it was a wailing song, like a sea shanty.
Oh,
but they created these sea shanties in a range that everyone could sing. A lot of people, I can't sing, I can't carry a tune in a bushel basket and a wheelbarrow.
Me either.
But if somebody ever tells you, I heard singing in my dream last night, it was you. Well, no, if it was good singing, it was not me. So, but anyway, so they created these kind of songs, these work songs in tones that everyone could sing and in a rhythm, so everyone could join in. And this is how they got things done. They sang it all together. And so I sang the song to myself, and I even had it on in the background because it was just like that work song. It just kept saying 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of one foot in front of the other, carry this box. And I got it done. And it made such a difference to do that.
Yeah. It is how we treat our moments. And why don't we honor our moments to where we give ourselves the highest, best we can? It doesn't have to cost money. I'm talking about the highest, best energy. Yeah. If you're really that distraught, of course, you got to go through those emotions and feel through it and cry it out, yell it out.
And there's no shame in getting a therapist or a counselor. I mean, I've had a therapist for many years off and on, and there's no shame in it. It's very, very helpful. But find the right therapist. If you find one and you're not having a good experience, keep shopping. You shop for clothes, you shop for shoes that fit you right. We love all you guys. I really appreciate it.
I love them all too.
And it's a work in progress. Valerie's a work in progress. I'm a work in progress. These are things we're constantly working on. These are not things we have mastered by any means. But
if you look at it, on a soul level, right? You're infinite being, and you enter a form, and that form eventually you drop that form, but you go back to being an infinite being. This is all soul work on a soul level. You know, we come in, we do what we do, we learn what we learn. It's really challenging. I mean, you know, to come to Earth, especially during this time where a 26,000 year cycle is closing down, and a 260,000 year cycle is closing down, and we're holding this space because so many people, they're not connected to their heart, and you can see it. You can see who is and who isn't, and those who aren't are trying to take others' rights away. Whatever. I don't want to get into all that, but as much as that bothers me, I sit here every day and I send them all love, and that's because that's what I'm guided to do. Because I ask, what would help me? What can I do to help? Sitting here as Valerie in this room, what can I do to help? Send it all love, and I do it all day long.
And hold space, that just allow, you know, asking for the, you know, catchphrases, you know, most benevolent outcome, but, you know, just put it out there, and or what's in that person's best and highest good is another thing. Just, you know, it takes you out of it. And a lot of times another thing that can help if you're having a difficult relationship of any sort with someone, and you guys just can't seem to work it out verbally, you know, have your higher self speak to their higher self.
Oh, I do that all the lot. Yes.
Ask the spirit, you know, just say, please help work this out, or how, and we all have those, and they're going to come and go throughout our lives. We're not going to be like, oh, magically, okay, I did that one, I'll never have to do another one, because sometimes we will. Things come, and they're all to help us grow and become stronger. And I wouldn't be the person I am without all the struggles. Like fibromyalgia has taught me a lot, and it brought me to JininJitsu, and I'm just so passionate about it because I've seen what it does. I've seen how much it can help. But it takes effort. It takes something on your part. You know, it's not just laying around and saying, Spirit, do it for me, you know.
Well, just what Roxy's saying, tenacious.
Yeah.
That's how we're here now, because we've all kept going. So many times I was on my back, just giving up. That might have lasted a couple of days, but I'd get back up and I'd try again, you know, and figure it out. I have fibromyalgia. I don't say I have.
I deal with, or I've been diagnosed with, or
yeah. Oh, and that's a perfect one to talk about. Don't own a phrase. You know,
don't take a medical label on. It's I have, and that's another thing. Instead of saying, well, I am sorry, you could say, I feel sorry. If you say I am sorry, you are making yourself the sorriest thing there ever was, because you're telling yourself all the time. But if you say I feel sorry, that's transitory. You feel for a while, and then you know, 10 minutes or whatever later, you're going to feel something else. It's not permanent.
It is so important how we speak to ourselves, how we pull ourselves through. And look, we have all done it. We're all here. We keep going. We are tenacious.
Yeah, I mean, I love that.
I do too. I never thought I like that, Care Bear.
And it's not how many times you get knocked down; it's how many times you get up.
That's right.
You know, and and that reminds me, Randy, if I say. Fear, people say false evidence appearing real, and I say false expectations appearing real. I mean, that time from that 2 weeks or whatever it is, from the time you make the dental appointment to the time you're in the chair is probably worse than the time you're ever in the chair, because you go through it all day. At least I do. One of those kind of people. There's just things. So that's the fear. You know, I think it's going to be this terrible, and then sometimes it's not. Yeah, not a faith, but a knowing. Yes. Because it's more empowering to know than to have faith, you know.
That's right. And we are a spark of the divine. We are here to empower ourselves. Yes, we have a team. They're on the other side. We're here, and it's us doing the work. I mean, not that they don't help or guide, but
and it's not see it to believe it to see it.
To see, oh my God,
turn that around. Look, you can change a whole lot of things. As we grow older, we learn more about ourselves than we ever thought possible. Exactly.
Oh my gosh, beautiful. Oh, Well, Ron,
yeah, I never thought anybody would value any of these things that I have studied or worked on or, you know, been a nerd about all these decades. And now all of a sudden it's you know, welcome information. So exactly. And hate's another one, Randy. If you hate someone else, it's like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Yeah. And it doesn't work that way, you know?
Yeah. Any negative emotion, you hate them, you're jealous, or whatever, you know, could go on and on. And it's, you know, a lot of times it's hard. I just keep sending love to people. I don't know.
And
to me, that's
like we're saying,
like,
yeah, and like I keep saying, Valerie and I, neither one of us are masters at this. You keep, you know, let go of the ball and chain. Yeah, absolutely. And you don't drive your car down the interstate in reverse. Why are you living your life looking in the rearview mirror?
Hi, Kimberly. Night. Yeah. Sometimes the past does make you grateful, you know.
Well, it's one thing to visit it, and it's another thing to have it living in, renting space in your head, right?
Yeah, but I look at it like this. I'm grateful for every moment of my existence, because if I didn't experience all those moments, I wouldn't have got to where I am now in understanding what this is all about. I had no joy for this, but I hated it here. I couldn't stand it. I love it now because I've grown from all of those experiences. And a lot of them were just god awful. You know, I could go on and on, but why? I am going here. I'm here now. And my goal, my biggest intention is not to repeat any of those things that brought me to this point. Let's experience joy and happiness and gratitude. I mean, I was so lost. Yeah. I was so lost.
There you go. That's forming right. Perfect. Yep. Yep. They're all lessons. They're opportunities, you know, those bumps in the road, because that's what makes you stronger.
And they're to make us notice too. Right. Like, whoa, what's going on here, you know?
And if you don't listen to the subtle ways that Spirit's giving you messages, they'll bring you right to your knees, you know? So it's good to pay attention.
Yeah.
21 days.
Allie is brilliant. She says it takes 21 days to develop a new mindset. It really does. And it took me a little while, you know, but I caught every thought. I was working too as a waitress and a bartender. So I'm catching every thought. And I'm like looking at myself like, oh my God, why do you think so horribly of yourself, you know? But it's all a lesson. It all taught me. Hi, Perez.
I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know.
Very nice.
I saw 333 today, Ron. That's interesting. I like 333. I love all the numbers, all the angel numbers. Yep. Yes, grace is the best word. I give myself grace and ease. That's right. As long as I'm evolving, regret wastes so much time. It really does. I lived in. I love
that you guys are interacting with us, because this is exciting to get input, and that you guys appreciate this, because we're all helping each other through this. And you know, there's going to be those of us who are doing better at some time than the other, and then energetically we'll pull you guys up, and then you'll be ahead of us, and then you'll pull us up. It's like we're all helping each other climb these ladders.
We're a huge soul family. You know, just because we're not in each other's physical proximity, we are supporting each other. Look how we've been supporting each other since COVID. Right. I mean, it's
and we're all over the world, you know. So there's people who watch this that are all over the world, and also anybody who's watching this on replay, you know, put your comments underneath the video, because that will be really helpful too, because we're wanting to build this vocabulary, and it will help everybody. Because Val and I have talked about doing a show like on this subject more than once, and there'll be new words that we can come up with that we can work through together as a group, as a community.
Yeah, because I know as my soul family, I want everyone to succeed. I want the vibration to raise on Mother Earth, so all life can raise up in peace and harmony. You know, and I can't tell you how many people say, oh, that's ridiculous. How could you think that's really going to happen? Do you see what's going on out there? I don't let that deter me anymore. It used to tear my heart out. And I just keep believing it because we're here to support each other through a very trying time.
Well, and there's enough people thinking that other negative stuff, they don't need our help. There's enough people thinking that way. What the world needs is people who are holding space, and it's a lot harder to hold space than you realize. It's not hard, but it's hard. It takes focus. It takes discipline. Right?
And it doesn't all of this, though, that's an excellent point. All of this, being mindful of your language, being conscious of what you're saying, and it's all focus. Do I choose, and this is what they just said in my head, in every moment you choose fear or love.
That's right. That's all there is.
That's all there is.
And when you're laughing, you cannot be in fear. Did you know that? You physically can, if you're laughing, you physically cannot be in fear. So laugh more, be fearful less.
Yeah, I love that too. You're my sunshine. I wish I could sing, but I can't.
Yeah, we'll spare you guys. Neither one of us will sing. And thanks for JG. She said she was MIA. He, I'm not sure. They said they were MIA. Welcome back. We're glad you're here.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, traffic throw all this out of them in a second. And you got that started putting gold light on the roads and gold light on the cars and pink clouds. And I just try my hardest to make it.
You know, you don't try, you do, Valerie. You do.
I do it too.
Yeah. But it takes, see, this is the thing. It takes a lot of conscious thinking. You know, it's conscious language, being aware of what comes out of your mouth. You know, I discovered these guys on YouTube. They do magnet fishing. It's this guy, he's from Australia, but he lives in Europe, and his name is Bondi Magnet Fishing. And he's out there, and there's these other guys out there, and they're throwing these magnets in the river, and they're like killing themselves, pulling up motorcycles and bicycles and shopping carts. And some stuff takes like 10 people to bring whatever it is out. But you know what? You don't hear them. They laugh, they giggle, like they're not going, dang it, I dropped it or whatever. You know, they'll bring safes out of that have, you know, been burgled. I can't believe how many safes they pull out of these canals in Amsterdam and all around. But I watch it because they laugh. Even when they're struggling, they're laughing. And if our response, instead of, you know, and I have to really work on this myself. I'll be the first to admit, but when something difficult happens, or I drop something, or I broke something, laugh about it instead of beating yourself up or being negative. Like I learned that we might say in America, we might say, you know, oh, I bumped into the table. Well, and the lamp fell over. And you would say, I broke the lamp. And in other cultures, they say the lamp broke. So there isn't the blame that you're putting on yourself. There's all these little insidious ways that we speak to ourselves or speak in general that really pull us down, you know, and it takes a lot of discipline and training, but I would rather focus on that than whatever's going on in the news or all this other nonsense, because I can't change any of that except with my positive energy anyway, and voting. Yeah,
and voting. And blame, shame, and guilt. That was, oh my God, it can ruin it.
Oh, we all got degrees in that, I think, don't we?
This is awful. Yes, I love Terry's meditation tribe, Kimberly Night. Love it.
Yeah.
It just makes your morning. You know, makes it, oh, wow, look, we all hung out together. We went on this little journey. We are evolving moment by moment.
There's so many little groups out there. And, you know, anybody who's out there who's wanting to find a group, start contacting, reach out to people in the chat, you know, and see it. Don't exchange your information right in the chat, but find a way to get, or you can contact Val or I, and we can get you guys connected. But find yourself some groups that you can work with, and then you guys will grow together, because everybody's at different levels and we're all learning different things. So find people that you're compatible with. And if you're frustrated in a situation, start your own group, you know, because that might be, spirit might be pushing you to step up and start leading people, because now you've gotten to the point where, okay, you're ready. So help others that way. There's a lot of different ways we can help each other.
That's right. And Richie's Reach, he started a Discord chat for the meditation tribe last week.
I have to check that out. I haven't checked. What does he do in that?
I don't have time. I'm always doing astrology and stuff. And it's not that I don't want to, I just don't have the time, or doing my own shows.
I hear you on the same boat. Yeah. But that sounds like a really good idea. Any of these groups, and they're there for free, you know. Yeah. There's all kinds of options for people.
And anyone could start a group,
a practice group, or
practice. Yeah, you could do anything. I was always a realist. I was too, Roxy. Now I'm both a realist and a spiritualist. I love that.
Or a real spiritualist.
A real spiritualist. Yep. Yeah. I have my days too.
Yeah.
I don't know what that. I'm not sure what that
and
means.
We'll have some more. Valerie and I are going to be doing more of these kind of shows, and we'll have other kind of suggestions, and some of it will be conscious language, and there'll be some other things I can teach, some self-help and things that you can do. Hey, Cardamancy.
Yeah. I miss you.
Yeah. Sending you lots of love. It's been beaming you guys' way.
Oh my goodness. This is amazing, Randy. I don't believe what the doctors told me. I mean, that
is awesome.
That is rare. Very good.
Yay. So excited about that.
Yeah.
Good news. Now wait a minute. Now let's go back and look at that again. Go back. Put Randy's other comment back up.
Which one?
Please. The one right before that about I don't believe. Now, it might be nice if she worded that differently. Because you're canceling, I don't believe. I know you're expressing that that this was not predicted or foreseen, but there's another way that you could enhance your healing, Randy, or any of us, through taking that out, you know, and we're just wording it differently. Mm-hmm. I believe what the doctors told me. I am healing. See how much more powerful that is?
Mm-hmm. I remember I had to tell the doctors to kiss my butt and said I was going to go heal myself.
Kiss my eraser pencil, or my kiss the end of my eraser.
I couldn't take it anymore. They played me so long. Oh my God.
Oh, great, Roxy. That's what we're here for. This makes me emotional. Thank you.
Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is beautiful. Right. I mean, it is. It's so beautiful. Honestly, I thought I was the only crazy person sitting at home doing this stuff. I thought I was crazy. And you all proved to me that we're not crazy. This is spirit, you know? Even though I knew it was spirit, I don't mean crazy. I'm saying words I shouldn't have said in the wrong context. But, you know, you start to question yourself. You're like, oh, my God, everybody, what am I doing?
My thing was I could never find people who I could communicate with. And even though I lived in Sedona for a long time, and even though I've been in different, you know, in the JininJitsu community or whatever, I never found a group. I never found the sense of community like I have with our YouTube family.
Right. Me either, ever. This is the closest.
Okay, so let's look at what JG wrote. So you could say, to remind me to ask for what I choose to have from my guides, and take that need out. And when you start doing this is another thing. You're going to see where the guides are going to notice that you've been this way, and then they're going to start delivering even more. And how you know is you look for validation. I mean, I won't go into the details, but I've been on some shamanic journeys, you know, that are done over Zoom. You know, I'm sitting in my house and everything, but I went somewhere and I'm having such a fantastical experience that seems like this, no one will believe this, right? So, so then you know, even though I'm in this trance kind of state, I'm thinking, okay, this is bullshit. You know, this just isn't happening. This is too far. Okay, if this is real, all right, Spirit, I want within 48 hours, I said, I want big validation, not I found a feather. I want something extremely specific. And I won't go into the details, but within 12 hours, something extremely specific happened to validate that exact experience. So this is how it will build your confidence. It will build your bond with spirit, all of this. And when they see you're starting to make these efforts to, you know, change the way you think, because when you change your words, you're going to change your thoughts, and then your deeds change.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the word I used to use need a lot, need and want, and I had to let that go. It really frees you from this.
Well, words are vibration, right? So those
Yeah.
each word has a vibration. You can look at it, you can add up the letters. There's a lot of ways you can look at the vibration. So why would you say a word that's putting out a negative vibration or a less than, helpful vibration?
Amanda, I say, thank you, Spirit, Mother, Father, God, sparkling. I call in all my guides, guardians, angels, dragons, elementals, beings of the highest vibration of unconditional love. Please show me my next best step today. Thank you, in grace and ease.
I love that.
And I say it on throughout the day.
Yep.
And I mean, the thing that I've noticed, okay, since I've been doing this, every day I get validation. Once you start asking for it, you get more validation.
That's right.
Juno was saying. But now it's like I'm in awe of the things I'm thinking, like maybe a couple of days ago, and it starts to come in another way, and I'm like, oh no, how'd that happen? You're just like, wow, it is. I mean, Spirit's amazing. Your team is amazing, and once they understand, you cultivate that relationship. They really do come in, because if you don't use tarot cards, you can't sit around for a tarot card every day. You have to bring the things in that resonate with your life. Talk about in that way. Thank you, butterfly kisses.
And mentioning tarot cards, that's exactly, Randy.
Absolutely.
And another thing with tarot cards, once and how I got to really know how to use them was I did a lot of, myself just at home. I would do my own reading for myself, and I would diary almost everything. And at first, when I first started doing this, I couldn't think of, well, how do I interpret this or whatever? So I would just write what was in the book, and then that would start to integrate it. And then I would start to evaluate these things. But then I have found if I'm having a bad day or I'm feeling out of sorts, or I wish I had somebody to talk to, but I don't, if I grab my tarot cards or my oracle cards, I get the best therapy session I've had if I paid for it.
Yes.
They're like your best friends. All those little characters, they're like little beings. They're little characters that the more you work with these cards, they become acquainted with you and you with them. And then, it's a really beautiful thing. I just love the relationship. In one of my journeys that I did, I can't remember if it was a class or whatever it was, but anyway, I ended up in this forest, and all of a sudden the characters on the tarot cards came alive in miniature form, but they were all walking around like elves would be, but they were characters from the tarot cards. So I was like, okay, this is interesting.
Oh man, that is so cool. I love it. I love that. I mean, and it is that fantastical. Is that a word?
Yeah,
I mean, it really is.
I say it is. So it is.
You'll be like in these journeys, because I do, we all do a little meditation. If we're in a meditation tribe, I do something as soon as I wake up. So I get myself primed, and it's some of the things you experience. So there's you're like, oh my God, how do I even explain that? Who do I explain it to? But things are happening so fast. You just, I'm like, thank you, Uni, thank you, Spirit. I'm always saying thank you. It's just, it's amazing. Once you have cultivated that relationship.
We'll make you turn off the computer you're watching it on if we we don't want that.
Karen
my eyes, my ears.
Oh, it might be, Randy, it might be my internet. I'm sorry if it's wonky.
You're not frozen now. Yes, exactly, Kimberly Night. That, when this all started 4 years ago, it made my day, absolutely made my day if somebody in the chat saw me and responded, just to recognize and say hi that you're there,
Yeah.
And you can really get a lot of friends from all over the world, just interact with each other. And our chats are a safe place. We make sure.
Yes. I like to call my channel Illumination Portal, because we are all illuminated portals. We're all a column of light. It isn't, but this is a sacred space. I want to emphasize that. I don't, This is
I
all
love
about
that name of your channel. I think it's the perfect name. It covers so many things. I just love it, Valerie. I think it's perfect for you.
Thank you.
And yes, it's Destiny card readings. And if anybody is interested, you can get a printout. They go birthday to birthday, and it's $25. You can email me at junosees@gmail.com, and we can just set it. I just need your birth date.
They are amazing, amazing.
Oh,
readings.
Thanks. They're real. It's just another way of looking at, you know, it's another method of card reading or divination or whatever you want to call it. But,
what else do you offer, Juno? Just so we can, because Juno's information is in the description box in case you want a Destiny card reading and Akashic Records.
I do Akashic Records. I do past life readings. I do dream interpretation. I do mediumship. I do JininJitsu self-help. I do distance healing, remote Reiki attunements. I can do Akashic Records attunements. I know about crystals, a lot of different things. And then the thing is, I blend them together because this is what I learned from JininJitsu. Because JininJitsu is connected to, you know, colors and shapes, or you know, sacred geometry and stones and numbers and minerals and days of the week and tastes and smells. I mean, it just goes on and on. So yeah, there we go. And join us here. That's time for blast off, Randy.
And as Randy's saying that, I'm hearing the love train where Juno is.
And it's going by my house. And you know, I saw a video today, and I posted a link to it on my channel and my community page, and it's on Danica Patrick's channel, and she's interviewing Daryl Anka, who he did the contact cards, the ET contact cards, but he's very, very interesting. So I recommend you guys check it out if you guys are interested in learning more. I won't go into, I won't spoil it, but it's a very fascinating show.
It's crazy. I posted, I think 3 videos. They're short, from Era of Peace, Patricia Coates-Roble, if I'm saying that right. But she is just straight. I mean, there's so much going on for the light workers. It's really important to keep that focus, right? The focus is everything right now.
Yeah, it's this is the book that Daryl Anka did. It's it's a hard to find deck to get. Sometimes you can get it and they're little square cards. But,
that's cool.
And
I love those cards. I remember
his insights are fantastic. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, we did have somebody ask one reading. I got to go find it now. I love this, Lori. I had a doctor politely walk me to the door. I've had them walk me to the door too. I understand.
They put that special note in your chart, you know, like on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Or you're crazy, or you're
you're crazy.
You know? Well, you didn't need to be with them anyway.
Right.
Destiny card readings. Yeah, that's.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you.
Yeah, she looks beautiful. Nice to see you, Jay. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love my life too. So beautiful.
And if you keep saying that, it'll be, you know. Because you know what? When you say the negative, we're really, really good at manifesting that. We just don't understand. We think somebody else did it to us. We don't understand that we lowered our vibration to allow that.
Exactly. And then we think we're victims, right? But we're the ones doing it. Like, we are all victim of FUD thinking. But it's the same thing. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. But we're the ones doing it. And oh my goodness, it's just, when I realized that, and my life started to change, I was blown away, because I would have never ever thought I had any power over anything.
Right. And that's just us fooling ourselves, you know. No negative B words. Yeah.
Let me see if we can find out one. Let's see if I can. Oops, where am I going? Oh goodness, bear with me. Okay, Leah wanted to ask a question. May I ask a question? Oh, well, here, maybe I should.
Yes, please.
Will funding for a soup kitchen come? When I saw that, I got a yes immediately. But
you want to do your pendulum?
Yeah, you want to do pendulum, or do you want to do cards?
I've got some. You do pendulum, and I've got some timing cards. So let's see what the timing cards say. How's that sound?
Yeah, cool.
Maybe we'll get some answers there.
I'll do the Leah. It'll be in a week, 2 weeks. I'm getting a yes, Leah, in about 2 months is what I got. I'm still going to pull a card. I got this new dragon deck. Of course, I want to use it.
Yeah. You want to give me a number, Valerie, and I'll pick a card. Probably out of 30, let's say.
Let's see. From where?
About 30 cards. Let's say 30 cards.
23.
Okay.
And I got Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, that's pretty definite. Yes. Beautiful. I hope Leah's still here. I don't know if she is, but maybe she'll come back and see. Oh, I changed me and my reality changed. Exactly, yeah, Randy.
That's right.
Let's manifest.
I got on holidays. That's very interesting for a soup kitchen. You know, you think of holidays with soup kitchen. So that's, well, you know, our next holiday is St. Patrick's Day, and then there's Easter. So that would be curious. You'll have to let us know, Leah, if there's any alignment with that.
I really feel with the spring equinox and these eclipses coming, it's really opening up the door for a lot of us. What we've been working on, wishing for, desiring, preferring, however you want to put it, is coming.
And April, that was the bottom of the deck was April. So
I was just going to say April, end of April. So, that is so cool, Juno. I love when we get it together.
Spirit takes care of us, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Oh, the change. That sounds really cool, Amanda.
Very cool. Thank you for telling us about that, Amanda. I'll write it down.
And so it is. That's right. Well, is there anyone else care for a reading or have a question? No, we're going to come back. We're probably going to do, what do we say, every week or two?
Maybe every other week, you know, we'll come back. And like I said, if you guys have questions or comments, please put them in underneath the chat. That really helps us out a lot. And it also helps us to know what you guys are thinking. And
Kimberly, night babies.
That's exciting.
I love babies.
Very exciting. And you know, just if you have other topics that you would like for us to talk about, we can do that also. So
yeah, please leave any suggestions. Let's see, we can pull a card for the
let's do that.
If I can find which my tip is I'm gonna use. Here we go. And absolutely, we love delving into these topics, anything mystical, magical. It's like a magic school, wizard school. We need something like that.
And for anybody who doesn't know my channel, I do every day. I post 2 videos, one in a format for watching on a computer and one in a format for watching. Yes, I do in-person readings. I'm going to be having Zoom availability really soon, Randy. And I also do one set up for cell phones, and it's a kaleidoscope or a fractal put to music, just to kind of let you veg out. They're mindless videos. There's a whole playlist, the mindless moments. You can just play that whole playlist on loop, and then if you want it in the background of something other than listening to, you know, something that might not be uplifting. So that's there. And I have I have a whole list of mudras. There's another way to help yourself. I just did a video, second in a series about dragons. There's going to be more information coming about dragons. Right now I'm working on one about mermaids. I just started that one today. But there's a lot of fun stuff. And then there's another cool one that I started that is in celebration of water, which are just videos set to music where you sing water in different actions. And
Gina's just brilliant. She's brilliant.
But no, Spirit helps me. Spirit channels everything for me. So, and I'm on with, I'm on the Crone Zone on Sunday or Saturday morning.
Cool.
Saturday, whatever they're noonish maybe. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
She's usually at 3. And Juno and I will be together on the 28th of March at 7. And I do psychic intuitive astrology readings.
Oh, Valerie's astrology readings are phenomenal, everybody. If you haven't had one yet, you got to do it. it'll change your life for the better. Totally.
got
She's
a
such a loving person and so well-rounded, and she really can explain these esoteric things to you in a way you can understand.
I just love it. Love it. Well, this isn't even a dragon deck, but a dragon came up.
Oh, cool.
Isn't that cool? I love it. And it says, uncovering treasure. Beneath the surface lies great bounty. And that's all of us. Oh my God, I love that. That's for all of us. Beneath the surface lies great bounty.
And this card is repetition.
Oh.
So this goes right along with what we're talking about today. This takes practice. It takes repetition. And you might hear us talking about the same thing more than once, but this is how you integrate it. Just like a couple people were talking about doing it for 21 days. Yes. So the repetition is the key. When you make it part of your practice and you stop, you know, some of it is, even if all you do is stop saying the negative thing and don't worry too much about the wording, start there. Just stop the negative, right?
Oh, it's Val's birthday today. Oh, that's cute.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, the repetition is everything. I mean, I'm ready to catapult my life. Randy.
I love that.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, please email me. I'd love to give you another reading. It's time. This is the time period because we're just coming into where it's time to start going forward. You know,
I just think it's interesting, that card with like holding the face. I mean, there's just so much in the phases of the moon, and I mean, you know, when you hold a deck of cards, whether they're tarot cards or oracle cards or whatever, just think about all the artwork, the beautiful work that goes into. You're holding, you know, all these little mini masterpieces.
Yeah,
right,
and all these,
they're amazing.
Oh, they're written. I mean, these cards, and there's some brilliant advice in so many of them. Oh my goodness, it's amazing.
And if you're having a bad day, it's okay to have a bad day. You know, the next day will be better. Just get yourself through it. Speak as kindly as you can and as loving as you can to yourself. And if you slip up, don't beat yourself up over it. Just allow it and say, okay, next time I'll do better. I choose to do better. You know, find all the ways you can turn words around to be as empowering as they can be. And empowering doesn't mean being abusive or anything to anyone else. It's not about that at all.
Hi, Chris. Where'd she go? Hi, Chris. I hope everything's going well with you. She's a beautiful soul. All of you are. And this is just, you know, this really brings a lot of joy to Juno and I to come on here and have these conversations, just like we're around the table, you know.
Yeah, and interact with the chat, because you guys are really important, you know, because without you guys, there's no point in us doing these shows to just talk to each other, because we do plenty of long private Zooms, don't we, Valerie?
Yeah. We're always talking. But and on Saturday night I'm with Sun Scorpio. Oh goodness,
Scott, I can't even say it now. Scott, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, and I'll be with him at 7, and then on Sunday I'm on the Crone Zone at 3, doing the new moon in Pisces, because that's the 10th, the new moon in Pisces, and then 7, Diana and I will be together, and Sun Psychic Jean will be with us 7 o'clock on that night. You
do a lot of shows, Valerie. You're so
30 years.
We love you, Randy. We're so glad you're here. We're blessed to have found you, that you found us, or however Spirit put us together. You know, I really believe all of us that are connected, it's all part of a giant web. And I've been working on a map. When I find out where people live, I have a map and I plot where everybody's at, and you know, someday I'll connect all the dots and see what the web makes, what kind of shape. It'd be interesting.
I love that web. Mistra, the goddess of the web.
The web of creation.
The web of creation is very cool. Oh my goodness, I just love talking this stuff. I mean, I just love it, because it's endless. You know, the magic is endless. The energy is endless. And whatever it is we want to bring in to ourselves, we are that powerful. We can do it.
Well, look at that Thomas the Train story or whatever. I think I can. I think I can. He didn't say maybe I could or I'll try. He said I think I can, and so he did. Right.
Oh, I hope your leg feels better, Kimberly.
I would, definitely see a doctor. It's always good to get medical help, but energy work is also another option. So
Kimberly, I need to see a doctor. Yeah, I'd get it checked out, but definitely, hear what they have to say. But I always try alternative energy workers before.
Well, energy works is supportive of whatever the medical profession does.
Right.
It doesn't interfere, and
Right.
I've had some really good success doing remote JininJitsu healing and Reiki healing and, and teaching self-help so that there's things that maybe you can do that you don't even know. And all it takes is your hands. You've got the tools already and just learning about where to, how to use them to facilitate healing.
Yeah, Kimberly, is an excellent healer. Shoot her an email and she can help you in any capacity.
Well, I'll do my best. Well, spirit, I plug in and let spirit, my guides and angels and the galactics and all them. They're amazing, and the league of them is growing all the time.
I know. Does everyone notice that? Maybe that's what our next topic should be.
Yeah.
Is your team getting bigger?
Yeah. And more varied,
Yes.
Yeah. So
really cool.
And you know what? Here's the thing. Everybody out there who. Hey, Karen, people who are like wanting to become more psychic or improve their intuition or any of those things, it begins with your imagination. When you think something is, well, that occurred to you, maybe it was just my imagination. Well, the imagination is how the other side how they speak to us.
Oh my God.
Tune into that and let your imagination run. And then at the end of it, even if it seems really fantastical, say, oh, I would like some validation, some legitimate validation, that will really be meaningful to me within a certain time frame and see what happens. This is how you grow your skills.
It really is. And, we were cut off from our imagination. Like I was always yelled at for daydreaming and looking out the window, in school. I didn't allow myself to daydream until like about 45 maybe. I don't know. It was a while, but really my imagination is what helped to open up those my third eye and the perception doors. They'll just keep opening and opening, and it's really beautiful.
And imagine you think of I'm a genie, when you imagine.
Yeah.
There you go. I love it.
I'm having a party. That's beautiful.
I just heard something today that made me, what you said reminded me, was about Picasso as an artist. So he was I think he was like in his teens, maybe 18, 16, when he could draw anything, and he had reached the pinnacle of drawing. And so then he spent the rest of his life working towards being more childlike rather than being more accomplished.
Oh, I like that. See, I never let myself play or have fun. I had that guy, Fernando on Ali's channel the other night. He told me I needed to go play. I was like, that's what my guides are saying too.
Yeah, exactly. So listen, and enjoy it. That's a nice thing to be told. It's better than being told you got to go fix the broken toilet, or whatever. You got to go do dishes.
But honestly, this is my play. To me, I'm playing. I'm enjoying myself immensely right here. This is what I love to do.
It's what you're passionate about. Same here. That's why we're here. This is why we live these challenging lives we've lived with, so that we could be here now to all share with each other, because we're all uplifting each other. Everybody who's making a comment, and even if you're not making a comment, but you're just lurking and you're sending energy and you're present and you're focused, that matters. Our energy builds, and especially as those of us who are all connected together, and how many years, we keep getting together, every day of the week now, so we can get together. There's somebody out there that's connected. So
look at everybody who has a show. You can always jump into a chat. I've been doing a lot. I've been really busy with the astrology and getting shows together. The astrology it's never been like this. It's off the charts, really. And I don't mean it scary. It's this is what's supporting
It's the
the ascension
reality.
process. Yeah. And as it is being supporting, and it's hard, there's a lot of detail in there. So I'm always kind of got my head in a chart, but I love to come on and play and have fun with y'all.
So if you guys like this, let us know and we'll come back and do more of these kind of chit chat kind of things. We love it.
Yes, I had to be serious always too, Karen. I was grown I was in charge at 11.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That builds you into who you are today. We're all, the accumulation of all our experiences, but we can reframe what those were and look at them as positive experiences. Something good came out of every challenge we've ever had if you just look at it that way. So
absolutely.
That's great.
I mean,
we'd love to hear that.
Thanks,
I know. I love you too. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we love you. And we'll be back, what did I say, on the 28th at 7. And please check Juno out. Her information is down below, and she's on the Crone Zone this Saturday.
Yes,
right?
Saturday. Yep. I think it's at 1 o'clock. So, well, at 1 o'clock my time, 3 o'clock Eastern, right?
3 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We love you so much, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Go ahead.
Thanks, Belle, for having me. I appreciate it so much. Love all you guys.
Thanks for being here with me. Juno, I love hanging out with you. All right, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. We love you.